2020 was the year of COVID-19, and when the world was struck with this pandemic, we had to find a way to cope. We had to find a way to, of course, bring people together, to bring peace into their home and solace. So in March of 2020, of course, Chaitra Navratri started. And it was very different because, of course, when the temple is usually filled, we had to close the doors of the temple to the community. And that is how we started our online satsang, virtual satsang, bringing God into their homes. So after Chaitra Navratri, of course, there was Hanuman Jayanti. So we finished our celebration of Ram Navami. And then we thought that, you know what, we should continue to be in the hearts of people. So we started Sundarkand Katha. Every evening was so powerful. It was so embraced, so much embraced by our people, our seniors, and people from all over the world. Then we had Hanumanji Jayanti celebration. Hanumanji Jayanti celebration is usually, of course, packed at the temple day and in the evening as well. We couldn't open our temple to the people. So what did we do? We brought the temple into their homes. Every Hanuman Jayanti, we sing 108 Hanumanji Chalisas. And we did not stop this year. As a matter of fact, it was very powerful, and so many people logged on from around the world to witness the chanting of Sri Hanumanji Chalisa. After Hanumanji Jayanti was finished, we decided that we still needed a way to connect to our people. This connection with our people, you know, our seniors especially, they are so vulnerable. They need our support, they need our love. We made a decision, me and my family, on behalf of our temple, to continue Shanti Satsang from our home. So, on the very first day of the Satsang, we started, and we called the doctors, some very familiar doctors of our community, to bring them together and to give people messages of hope and guidelines, of course, how we can all fight this pandemic together. Our frontline workers, we have to remember that they are human beings. They have families, they have parents, they have kids, and they, after working an entire day or shift or night, they have to go home to their families as well. We reached out to them and we prayed for the well-being and safe and health of all our healthcare workers in the first session of our virtual satsang. Dr. Sharmila, how are you?
Sitaram Pandji, I'm good. How are you?
Jai Sitaram, I'm doing very well. Tell us a little bit about where you are right now in America. So, and then we'll start with our questions.
Okay. All right. So right now I'm doing outpatient medicine in Florida, and right now our state is quite affected by the virus and everything that's going on. So it definitely is. It's been quite an experience just being here and seeing the amount of cases that are coming in.
Hello, Sitaram Pandji. This is Sachin speaking.
Jai Sitaram, Dr. Sachin.
It's easy to forget that the frontline workers are human beings as well too, and we have emotions just like everyone else. It would be great if we can sort of put emotions aside all the time, and in medical school you're trained to do that, but when it comes to something like this, it's very difficult too. We've had scares before. We've had scares with SARS in 2003, but that was contained. What we're seeing today is something on a whole new scale, a whole new level, and it really has affected a lot of people personally.
The virtual satsang started off so beautiful. People looked at it as like a new soap opera, but we made it very entertaining for people as well. They were singing, there were scriptures, and what we did as well, we introduced our quiz to our audience. And we populated the questions, and they were, they were having their papers and their pens, and they were scoring their marks against it. It was so much of fun. Get your paper and your pen ready, or your pencil. We're going to get started. First question. So everything requires a name. A person has a name. A place has a name. Even our pets have a name. Well, we needed to find a name for our virtual satsang. And I thought that since this is the people's satsang, why not they name the satsang? So we reached out to people and we said, hey, give us your suggestions. We will take the majority and we will name the satsang based on your choice. We want to give the program a name, the satsang a name. So instead of just sitting my head and bursting my head and coming up with my own name, I would like to have some suggestions from you. Divya Satsang or Prem Satsang or Shanti Satsang. Not quarantine satsang, please. And so many names came up: Bhakti Satsang, Prem Satsang, Priceless Satsang, and Shanti Satsang. And finally, everyone, well, most people rather, decided that it should be named Shanti Satsang because the satsang brought peace and solace to everyone who was listening. We continued our satsang at home. We have a little studio at home here that I had built many years ago. And it was sitting there. We did not do much with it. We decided that since this is going to be the home of our virtual Shanti Satsang now, that we should, of course, make it iconic, something that related to me, to my life, and of course to our family. And there it was one day, the first coat of paint, the blue, the famous blue, was revealed. We did not have enough paint to actually finish it because it was COVID, so the stores were not opened. And what we did, we painted that portion of the wall alone, which was sufficient for our satsang. And it was beautiful. Today gave the studio its first coat of paint. We ran out of paint a little bit, and you know, here when you order paint now, you have to wait a week to get a can of paint. So it's going to take a couple of weeks for us to bring it to the standard we wanted to. So Mother's Day came, and Mother's Day was such a fun day for us because we made it a Mother's Day dinner, a Mother's Day party, which people could, they cooked in their home, and we were singing such fun film songs. The kids were singing, and it was so much fun. Hey, maybe we were not together, of course, but we were together virtually, and we had so much fun celebrating Mother's Day.
All the mothers out there, just have a wonderful evening.
Sitaram, who is this?
Auntie Dana.
Oh, Auntie Dana, Sitaram, how are you?
I'm okay.
Happy Mother's Day to you, Auntie Dana.
Thank you.
So nice to hear from you. How is Uncle? Father's Day was no exception as well because, we have to strike a balance in everything. We dedicated the Father's Day program, obviously, to the fathers, and we connected in every way, allowing fathers and their children to have a connection in some way through our Shanti Satsang. And then there was my birthday, of course, which we celebrated, and thank you all for doing that. My birthdays are usually, for me, Christmas is nice and New Year's is nice and everything is nice, but when it's my birthday, the child in me comes out, and it is as though I am taking a new birth every year. And I want to thank all of you for reaching out and for celebrating my birthday with me in such a beautiful way. We celebrated many milestones there. We celebrated, of course, our 50th day of Shanti Satsang, which was well received by so many of you. And thank you so much for encouraging us always. Everything about him is sweet. Sometimes the presence of somebody, my friends, brings us so much harmony and sweetness. You just want to be in amidst them. For our 60-day celebration, our milestone, we actually had a quiz that day, and everyone participated so well. And oh yes, that is when we got our new toy, our new camera in our studio, and it helped us to do so much more in a very effective and efficient way. C, satin, or D, anything which looks like Indian. Since I wasn't able to go to so many people's home this year to perform pujas, well, I didn't go to many people. We decided to do something called World Hanumanji Puja, where we invited people from right across the world, I mean literally right across the world, to join us in puja. We did it so beautifully. We sat in our little studio at home and we performed the puja. Myself and Sita, we sat together and performed the puja, and then everybody else joined. Oh, I was so happy to see people have their jhanda, their flags. They were like cooking as though they were having a puja in their home. So beautiful and so nice it was that we could have connected worldwide in Hanumanji Puja. On May 30th, we decided to come out of the studio, and then we went into the parking lot of Bhavani Shankar Mandir. It was so joyful because after a few months, of course, we're going to see our people back again. We sat at the doors of Bhavani Shankar Mandir and we sang 11 Hanumanji Chalisas. It was so powerful. There were so much reverberations. Our people, they sat in the parking lot in their cars. And of course, they were honking and they were just enjoying every Hanumanji Chalisa that we chanted. It was so fulfilling to see our people back again.
Bhaj Ramachandra ki, Pavan Sut Hanuman ki, Ramadut Bhagavan ki.
Then came our 100-day celebration, which was on July 1st of 2020. We took it to our parking lot in the temple, and it was so beautifully arranged. It was so wonderfully attended. It was Canada Day, of course. So people came and we sold our 100-day shirt. If you have a t-shirt, oh, that's a very legendary one. I literally went out to every car there and met everyone and just made sure that we connected with our people. 100-day to celebrate is quite a bit. It's an accomplishment not for me or my family, but for our community, that we have together stuck with each other and brought help and peace. And that day, we thanked the members of my family who helped. Of course, we thanked Akash because he was a significant role and still is a significant role behind everything we did and we are still doing. He is the man who makes all the technology work, the sound, the effects and everything. So we're so indebted to him for his help. And of course, our children who were there, my children, Bhuvan, Bhumika, Vrinda, we acknowledge them because without their help, this wouldn't have been possible. On that day, I had asked our friends around the world to make a donation to the temple. I reached out to you and asked for 100 families to donate $100. Well, we raised over $35,000 on that day, for which Bhavani Shankar Mandir is so thankful for. God bless all of you. Following our 100-day celebration, of course, we continued online because we wanted Shanti Satsangh to continue to bring Shanti in your life. After Guru Purnima on July 4th, we started the month of Shravan. And wow, Shravan Month was so beautiful. Shravan is the holy month of Shivaji. Every single evening, we broadcasted from the temple. The Shivaji Lingam was so beautifully decorated. The Shringar was done with so much love by the decor team of our temple. And I sat beside the Lingam every single evening. And we chanted and we sang and we prayed. And we chanted and we sang and we prayed. And we kept ourselves closest to Bholenath Bhagwan. And we brought his Shringar to your door every single day for, of course, over 1 month. We brought Shanti Satsangh live in the holy month of Shravan. It was touching. Shravan month, our temple, of course, got flooded by, of course, that sprinkler. There were so many challenges in the month of Shravan. There were some evenings that we showed up at the temple and I was in tears because we were all day there working. The contractors came in to rip out the carpet. The place was in a magical mess. There were machines, there were glue being ripped off, and yet we had to do our satsang. The decor team had to still do their work. I watched them work so hard. They know who they are. I want to thank them very much for their hard work, and it brings me so much, joy to see how we can come together in challenging times. There are some evenings in Shravan that, I just take out, I'm there all day and we're there working all day. And you just take your clothes out, you jump in your kurta and your dhoti and you go right into the satsang without even thinking. We did not bring any pains to you. We just allowed, of course, the joy of Shankar Bhagwan to dance in our expressions. Conclusion of Shravan month, we had our grand Parvati Mangal, which is the wedding ceremony of Bhagwan Shiv and Mata Parvati. It was done with so much grace and joy and beautifully done. We did it like a wedding, you know. We changed both of them. Shivji Bhagwan made his first appearance, and Ma Parvati and Bhagwan Shivji, they looked like a king and a queen that day. It was well attended by our community, and we're so thankful that, you know, people from all parts of Canada came and they participated in the process, and so many people joined, you know, from around the world to see the wedding of Shivji and Parvati Bhagwan. And that was, of course, the conclusion of Shravan Month. And then after Shravan Month, we still continued on the air in Shanti Satsangh. We began our Bhagavad Saptaha, our 7 sessions of Srimad Bhagavad Katha. And that, when we read Bhagavad Katha in our temple, we usually go outside, you know, we build a nice tent. But this year we contained it to the temple, and it was beautiful. People attended, so many people were in line as well, and we had a beautiful celebration. Sri Krishna Bhagwan, of course, gave us the courage, he gave us the love, he gave us the encouragement to celebrate in the name of Sri Krishna Janmashtami. The Bhagavad Katha is always so very energizing. It's like, you know, every day there is a fresh life when you read Bhagavatam. You know, it's like you've taken a birth, and the next day it's another birth, and you become a new person every single day. Srimad Bhagavad Katha. This is Panchama Ved. It is the 5th Veda. It is Sakshat Bhagwan Shri Krishna. It is the very living form of the Lord. It is not a book. It is not pages. It is the form of Shri Krishna. And we finished, of course, with Janmashtami. Janmashtami, it was so, it was riveting. It was dynamic. It was so very powerful. That night, we had the whole temple dancing. They stood up and they were dancing. We got them to raise their hands. And when we finished Janmashtami that night, yes, it was not only Krishna Bhagwan who was born or who came into this world. We all took a new birth as well, because the temple was so beautifully done. This year our theme was the royal theme. Last year, 2019, we had, of course, the jungle theme, the Vrindavan theme with the animals and the leaves and everything. But this year we made it a royal scene, and very, very nicely presented with dignity. After Janmashtami, of course, what was that? 38 days consecutively we were at the temple, day in, day out, with Shravan and the Bhagavatam. So we brought back Shanti Satsangh at home. And that, of course, we kept for an hour every night, still trying to connect with people, still trying to be a friend, still working hard in the name of the divine. And a little bit after, we concluded with the consecutive 150 consecutive nights of Shanti Satsangh with all of you loving people. It was 1 hour program, August 20th. It will go down in history in Canada that we together have celebrated. We together have been, you know, people don't stay together for 150 days, but we survived because I have you, you have me, and together, of course, we are serving the divine. And we had a very emotional ending to Shanti Satsangh, where I recapped on what Shanti Satsangh has really taught us. Some of the very basic things is that always, you know, always live your life. Your life is your life. There is no piece of life other than yours or like yours in this world. I encourage you to never feel that it is wrong to make a mistake. Never worry about making mistakes, you know. And I've encouraged all of you to always love people, the simplest of people, the people who do the cleaning work, the people who do the simple work that sometimes people don't notice. Love everyone. Have just pure love for people. And, you know, we conclude in that manner, reflecting upon the achievements of Shanti Satsangh. And then, of course, we announced that we will be celebrating Shanti Satsangh in a grand style on the Sunday morning. I would like to sincerely thank all of you for your love It brings so much joy and so much tears, and we really have to hold back when we say these things, because you have become family. Friends have become family. Families have become more bonded. And this will go down in history, but it's not that it will go down in history that's what matters. It is because of the impact it has made in our lives. The impact. When the world closes doors to our people, when the temple's doors were shut, when the malls were closed, when the amenities, when the entertainment places were closed, we made sure that we opened our doors to you. We made sure that we brought God into your home. Every evening we sang Hanumanji Chalisa. Every evening we sang prayers with you. We started with Hanumanji Chalisa and we finished with Hanumanji Chalisa. And it is not the end of our relationship. It is just the beginning of something brand new. I thank you very much for your love. I thank you very much for your support. I thank you very much for your encouragement. Many of you call me son. Many of you call me brother. Many of you call me friend. Whatever name you have given to me or whatever relationship we have built together, I'm grateful to it. And I bow down to all of you for allowing me to serve in this way. May our temple always be a home for you. May I always remain in your life as someone who occupies a space of love. And most importantly, may our bond of friendship and love always live on. Until we see each other again in person, in your favorite place to live, in your city or in your country, or on another session of Shanti Satsang, may the blessings of Bhagwan Bholenath and Ma Parvati always be with you. For the gratitude and the love that you have given us. To be honest with you, we will miss this. We will miss this a lot. I will miss seeing your daily comments. I will miss seeing, your daily love that you express on the program. I'll miss everything about it, but we'll try to stay connected in some way to maintain this beautiful relationship. On behalf of Bhavani Shankar Mandir, yes, our family, but on behalf of Bhavani Shankar Mandir, thank you for all that you did for us. God bless all of you. I love you all. We love you all. And we hope and pray that we still remain family forever. Stay blessed always. Jai Sitaram.